Hello everybody. This is Alyssa from Ink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for work in progress. Chat, well, we're going to sit here, we're going to chat a little bit about my week, what I've been up to, some diamond painting stuff, and all of that. First off, what am I working on today? Let me pull up the thing. So I am working on this canvas right here. This is called Cursed. It's a Mrs. Butter D canvas. It is a round roll canvas, 46 colors, and it is a 55.6 by 70.7, and that's the image right there. I'm halfway done with it, so I'm about to start the second half of it. That's what we're about to do right now. So the tools that I'm using for this, it should come as no surprise to you guys that I am using these two trays from Yellow Dog Designs. I have the small tray and the narrow tray. I am using pineapple cilantro wee wax. I really need to swap to a new scent, but that one is, I'm loving it. And I am using this coconut cream pie Randa's Crafty Corner putty. I'm actually, I'm getting close to being done with the little pad. There's only that much left of it. So I'm working on it until I finish that pad of stuff. And then for my accessory, the rest of my accessories, I have my seam ripper, which is MTN Inspirations. It's stunning and beautiful. And in addition to this stunning seam ripper from MTN Inspirations, I have these two pens from Peachy Keen Pens, this super fun shorty pen, and then this longer one right here. So I have those two pens, and then I am also using this beautiful one right here from Swampwood pen. So this is a Swampwood pen right here. So I love the colors on this and the way he does the glitter on it. So that's what I am using today. We're going to go ahead and get started. I do need to trim my section, my plastic cover, so I can release my section. Apologize, it's morning, so I'm a little bit snuffier than normal because it's morning. So I'm going to apologize about that. I'll try to not snuff in the video, but sometimes your nose just wants to run. All right, we're going to go ahead and slice this. See how easy it is with a seam ripper, and I never have to worry about damaging the canvas. I've been seeing a lot of people recently, there's one person in the DAC VIP group that I think it was yesterday or something like that, showed a picture of her canvas, and it was she legit sliced the entire canvas, and I'm that's why I'm using the seam ripper. I know a lot of people that have ended up slicing their canvases using knives and all of that stuff. You can either use scissors and slice just the plastic cover, or you can use, let's see, what color do we want to use to start off? Or, just don't use either of those and focus on, something that's not going to do it. A lot of people will use an all-out X-Acto knife, and those suckers are sharp. X-Acto knives are super sharp, so I'm not using an X-Acto knife on here. I have an X-Acto knife that I use for other stuff, but I'm not going to go cutting my release paper with an X-Acto knife because that is a recipe for a disaster. I was using a little ceramic knife, but it's you have to get the perfect amount of pressure, because if you push too hard on those ceramic knives, you can end up with a little mini slice in the canvas. And if you don't push hard enough, you have to go back over it and do it again. So rather than any of that, I ended up switching over to the seam ripper, and it is perfection. And I'm okay, why did I not use this any earlier on? Why did I wait so long to start using a seam ripper? Because it is perfect. It does everything easily, and it is, and it's multi-purpose because you could use it if you need to rip any seams out. So anyways, that's my opinion on that, because I've been seeing, like I said, I've been seeing a rash of people doing it. So anywho, yeah, and I know I am using the same pens that I used last week. I normally change my pens out on Friday nights, but I did not feel like changing it last night. I was too tired. I was meh, I'm not in the mood. I'm not going to change them. And then, this morning I was I really don't feel like taking the time to change out my pens. So we are going to go ahead and just, use the same pens I used last week. But I normally just swap out pens every week. So that way I can make my way through all the pens that I have, because I'll use 3 of them for a week and then swap to another 3. So anywho, I did not do that this week. I will do it today. I just didn't do it before I started filming this video. So anywho, I hope everybody's week has been going great. If you guys have had a wonderful time and enjoyed the long holiday weekend last weekend, if you got any of the time off for the holiday. And now we are on to, like, I've always find that first week back after a long weekend, that short week at work, even though it may only be 4 days of work, is like, feels like the longest week ever. Oh my goodness, does it feel like the longest week ever? So yeah, I'm like trying to, so it did feel, because I'm like, everything that I would normally do over the course of 5 days gets crammed down, and I still end up having to do everything. It just gets compressed into 4 days instead of having 5 days to do it. So it just means that you're busier. So at least that's my experience with these days. I'm trying to like work around my tripod. It's the only thing about like working with an easel is it makes filming WIP and chats so much harder than they should be. Because you have to get it where you can see, but then you can also, like, I end up in like this awkward position for diamond painting. So I actually diamond paint slower when I'm filming these WIP and chats than I do normally, because I'm in such an awkward position and I have to use a different chair so it fits around like the camera stuff, the things we do. Anywho, yeah, so like I said, so we had the long weekend. I had there was a concert. There's a couple of Thai actors that I followed that were putting on a concert last weekend. So I had the virtual tickets to the concert so I could watch it. But it's like it started at 5 a.m. Was the U.S., like the East Coast equivalent time to what it was in Bangkok. So it was like, so I did watch, I caught the tail end of one concert Sunday morning. I want to say it was the tail end of one concert. And then, because I woke up at 7, so I got to watch like the last 45 minutes of the concert. And then on Monday, I was, for some reason, couldn't sleep that night. So I was like, oh, perfect. Oh, no, I had fallen asleep earlier and slept like a big chunk of the afternoon. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'll be able to, watch the concert because it starts at 5. So I did start the concert at 5. But then I fell asleep at, I think I watched like the first hour and fell asleep. But thankfully I had gotten the ticket. That means I could watch the replay of the concert. So I was able to, so this week I finished watching day 1 of the concert. And then I still have like the last 40 minutes of day 2's concert that I have to watch today. So if you hear random noises, it's because the girls are playing with toys. Or, like bottle caps that double as toys because they're cats and they like bottle caps. So anyhow, so that's how I started my weekend. Yeah, and I was so glad that I didn't have to work on, Monday, so I could actually watch, or at least attempt to watch part of that concert. But yeah. And then, so I did that. The concert was good. It was really funny because they decided to make it like a Thai country music concert, which is hilarious. If you've never listened to, like, if you don't know what Thai country music is, I recommend you go look it up. It's not what we think of as like country music. It's kind of funny though. But it was good. That was fun. It was a good way to, kill some time and, listen to music and all that stuff. And then and that's one of the things that I love about like non-US concerts. Like if you get a regular band in the United States and you go to a concert, you have a couple opening acts, and then you have the band that you actually went there to watch, and they may play for like an hour, because all told, you've been there for 3 hours, but the first like hour and a half or so of the concert is usually like an opening act. Well, that's not how most, like K-pop, T-pop, C-pop, so Thai pop, and J-pop, so the Japanese, Korean, Thai, and Chinese, and the Mando pop, or really all of that. So all of these other, like the Asian countries, when their bands put on concerts, you literally, it's just like, when I went to my K-pop concerts earlier this year, you have the entire, like, 2.5 to 3 hour period of time is that you're there for the concert, and it's legit the one band you went to see for that entire time, which I love. Because then you actually are really, I mean, like, that's who you paid to see typically anyways. So you're there, they perform for that entire 2.5 to 3 hour period of time. So I love that mindset of it rather than, the opening acts business that we tend to do in the States. I know it's great for, like, the smaller bands to be an opening act for somebody because then they get some, like, name visibility out there. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm paying for one band. I want to see that one band. But that's what they do. That's what the Asian countries, that's what their bands tend to do. They actually perform for that full time, which I love. So anyways, yeah. So did that, and then I was gonna mow the lawn last weekend and did not end up mowing the lawn. I was just like, nope, I don't feel like it. We're not gonna mow it. So my lawn is, like, super overgrown and definitely needs mowed this weekend because I didn't mow it at all this in between week. I was going to, but I'd get home from work and it was a really long week at work and I was tired. So I got home and I'd be like, I should go mow the lawn. Yeah, or I could just wait. So that was kind of like the mindset that I ended up doing. It's like, I could mow it or I could wait. And I ended up waiting. So the lawn did not get mowed last weekend or this week. So I absolutely have to mow it this weekend because it is so overgrown right now. But that's on my agenda for this weekend. This work week, oh my goodness, you guys, it was busy, 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 busy. So normally I have a meeting that I have on Mondays during the morning time frame. But since we were off on Monday for the holiday, they moved the meeting to Tuesday instead of just saying, okay, hey, let's just not have this meeting. No, I still had the meeting. I just had the meeting on Tuesday. So I've still been trying to, with all my responsibilities that I have at work right now, over the past, basically I've gone from, before I took on those extra responsibilities, I was at, 85% patient caseload. And then I took on both responsibilities, like, right at the same time, which took me from, 85% patient caseload down to, like, basically down to, like, a 50% patient caseload. And so I had to, but it took me a little bit to get everything finalized and get the new template in the system. So that way I could, not have to not have to go in and make manual changes to my schedule. So it took probably a solid month because my schedule is always booked like a good 6 weeks out. So it took me a while before I could actually have an empty time in my schedule where I could go in and put in the new template without interfering with existing patients, appointment wise. So I'm supposed to be working at 50% capacity right now, but I've still been basically at like a 70 to 75% capacity because of all of the appointments that I already had scheduled. So this week was the last week that I was down to, the last week that I had to do at like the old schedule. And starting on Monday, I will be at my new 50% caseload schedule, which I'm like, yes, thank you. So now I'm about to roll into the new template on Monday, and I am so looking forward to that because I have been leaving so many things unfinished and still leaving work late every single day. It's been legit. I have had so much extra work left that I'm like, I really need to do that. But I'm like, I could stay here until, like 10 p.m. at night and still not be done with all of this work that I need to do. So I've been trying to leave, at a decent time. But I don't think I had gotten out of work prior to like 5 or 5:30 this entire past week. That's how busy I've been this week. And work normally ends at 4 o'clock for me. And I'm that person that loathes staying late for work. Like I legit loathe it with a passion. I've never been one to stay over. It's like work is done, I'm gone, kind of a thing. Like my 4 o'clock is here, I'm out of here. So for me to be staying late every single day means that I had a lot going on. But yeah, so let me see. So yeah, I had my meeting on Monday. Mo, don't scritch my chair. You turd, stop. No. The chair is not for you to scritch with your little paws. You have a scritching post for that. Don't eyeball my chair. She's like, Mom, I'm going to do it anyways. Mo, stop. Don't put the claws back up there. No, you're sassing me. Sassy little mochi. Hey. Won't you lay down in the chair? I'm not sitting on it, so you can lay down on it. Come on. There you go. Lay down. Good girl. She's being a brat child. Once in a while, Mochi's a brat child. Mo. Don't even. And then she looks at me and she just blinks those big eyes. Like, what, Mom? I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, uh-huh. Sure you aren't, brat child. Sushi's actually being well behaved for once. I don't know where the little one went. She disappeared somewhere. She's not in here. She's in another room. But she's actually being a good girl this morning. And it's Momo that's causing the chaos. Oh, there's the Susie. She's gonna try to antagonize Mochi. So, yeah, so Monday was the holiday. Tuesday, I had the meeting, and then I was trying to work it in with all of the patients that I still had to see. And it was, had to see a bunch of patients on Tuesday, and I had to tell one patient to come in, like, it was like, can you come in half an hour later than your scheduled appointment time, because of that meeting that I had. So I was able to finagle that around. And then Wednesday, I'm trying to think, what did I have on Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday. Yeah. So Wednesday is normally an admin day. So I only see patients in the mornings on Wednesday. So that one tends to be a little bit easier. But I've been, doing stuff for templates for a couple of the new people that I have. So a lot of like clinic manager stuff that I've been doing this week because I don't have a clinic manager right now. So I am the clinic manager. So I've been doing all of that on top of the regular admin for the department. And yes, it's been a lot. But anyways, I had a lot of template and schedule changes and everything I have for a couple new staff members. I had to put in a temporary template underneath. We have a designated, like a float. So if somebody's here just for like TAD to us, or like they're just with us for a couple months to help out, we don't have to like create an entire schedule for them. We just do a float schedule. So I had to, put a template and a schedule in under the PTA float and the PT float because we were still waiting on our two providers, like my two new people, my new PTA and my new PT, who've been there for, like a month and a half at this point. We were still waiting on them they had access to the medical record system, but they had not been what we call resourced to it. So it's like they could go in and see it, but they weren't assigned to our clinic. So we couldn't schedule anybody on them yet. So I had to put in a temporary schedule for them under the float. And then once I had that temporary schedule in, I also was like reaching out and like, then of course I had to put it in just for like a short period, because once the new, schedule rolls around, then it was like, okay, now this new schedule is done. So, and they were resourced. So then I had to go back in and I had to, get rid of the old template that still had a couple days left on it, transfer any patients over to the new template under their actual names. So it was a tedious process. Sushi's playing with a piece of plastic, in case you wonder what that noise is, if you can hear it. So yeah, it was a lot of like clinic managing stuff that I was doing. And then of course, still coordinating everybody who's like, oh, I'm going to be out this day. I'm going to take leave on this day. I've got an appointment on this day. So I had to, go in and block their schedules, have the front desk reschedule patients, all of that for everybody else. If the computer or if the screen is jiggly, it's because Sushi is now climbing on my easel. What are you doing, turd? You're you're jiggling everything, girlfriend. Susu, you better move. Move your booty. Thank you, little one. All the way off. Good girl. Okay. Now I can let go of the easel. No, you don't need to go in the window. Sushi, we're not going in the blinds. Susu, no. Get your face out of there. She's hilarious. So yeah, that was a lot of stuff. And then Wednesday was my Botox injections for the migraines. So I had that on Wednesday afternoon. And then I still ended up going back to my office and working for like another 2 hours after that. Even though usually it wipes me out having the injections, I'm usually so tired afterwards. So I was super tired. But I'm like, I had so much stuff to do that I had to stay and do a little bit more work. And then Thursday, it's the day after is where I feel the absolute worst. Sushi, get your face out of my blinds. Let me go open them for you. All right, I opened the blinds for the Chaos Gremlin. And of course, now she's going to follow me back over here. Like, oh, I didn't want that, Mom. And I'm like, you're a brat. You're a brat. You're such a little brat. But anyways, yes. So I had, so Thursday, oh my goodness. Thankfully I had only a handful of patients on Thursday because I had to do prep work. The hospital was doing a mass casualty drill on Friday, and we did our walkthrough on Thursday. And I'm one of the people that was organizing the drill and coordinating it and all of that. So that took up like a big chunk of my time on Thursday was prepping for the walkthrough. And then once we did the walkthrough, doing a little of like the after action and then that discussion. So it's like all told, that was like a big chunk of my Thursday was related to the mass casualty exercise, the walkthrough and everything else. And then Friday, I was originally my BLS, so my basic life support certification expires at the end of the month. So I was like, well, I need to get it renewed, but I had originally signed up because I thought like, I had to actually take the class. So I had signed up for the class on Friday before I knew that the exercise was going to be on Friday. And I'm like, well, I can't take it because I can't do it on Friday because I've got this. And then I found out that, oh, hey, you can just do the challenge. If it hasn't expired yet, you can just do the challenge where you basically do the online portion. And then you go in and just do the skills checkout. And I'm like, okay, I will do that because that will take up a lot less time. But then it's like, there was something weird. I don't know if you guys had an issue with it, but there was something weird going on with the internet on Thursday night. Because I was at home and I was trying to like complete go on the American Red Cross website to do my learning for that. And it just would not load. I kept getting partway and then stopping, and then I tried like another website. Some of them worked and some of them didn't. It was so very random, hit or miss. Like some things were good to go, but then other things just wouldn't work. And I'm like, this is odd. So I think there was something network wise going on a server that some of these websites were housed on because some other people, get your face out of my blinds. No, I will touch your tail if I want to. Get out of my blinds. Sushi. She's like, but I want to stick my head in the slats of the blinds. I'm like, you don't need to stick your head through. You can just stand there and look out the window without sticking your head through. Sushi, get your face out of there. Get out. Brat child. Hi, Carcass. You're silly, baby. So, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So, yeah, there was some kind of weird, like, network thing. I know some people were reporting that YouTube wasn't working for them. It worked fine for me. And then some people were saying that, like, the Discord app wasn't working and they couldn't get it to load. So it was, like, very, like, random bits and pieces. And it didn't seem like it was consistent for everybody. It was, like, some people had issues, some people didn't. And some people could access one website, but other people couldn't access that same site. It was very odd. But I think that was like a whole network thing for whatever cloud-based server a lot of these websites are hosted on. I think we're impacted by something on Thursday because that was annoying. And then on Friday, I was gonna try to run over and knock out the test off Friday morning because I already had that day blocked. But I didn't get a chance to because I still had to finish the online portion of it, which I hadn't done because the network had been out. And I had started it Monday or Friday morning when I was at work. But then I was doing template stuff and rearranging schedules. And that took me longer than expected. So by the time I finished with that, I'm like, well, I could run over, but I still haven't finished the training. I'm still only halfway done with the online training, which is supposed to take an hour, but is most definitely taking longer than an hour to do. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So then I'm like, well, now that I've gotta finish that. I do have some time on Monday where I'll be able to run over and do it, because they only do it in the mornings from like 8 to 11:30 is the only time they do it, and that's kind of the time frame when I see the most of my patients is first thing in the morning like that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, but I will, it's not going to take super long, so I'm going to run over Monday morning in between patients. I've got like an hour block in between a couple of my patients. I'm going to run over and try to knock it out then. And then yes, and then and then they actually put in a consult for an inpatient. So I was like, okay, now I need to coordinate seeing this inpatient before the mass casualty drill takes off. And I have to go do stuff for this because I was one of the evaluators for everybody's response for the drill. So, I had to be ready and pre-staged and all of that. And they had put in upstairs is the ICU. They had put in a consult for PT and OT for this patient. So I was like, okay, well, so I was like, I'm not going to just run up and see him by myself when there's both of us need to go up and see this patient. So I waited, and I had to wait until he was done with, my OT was done with the patients that he was seeing in outpatient. So that way we could go up after that. And he was able to, he actually finished a little bit quicker than I was expecting, which was perfect. So we were able to run upstairs, dual hat kind of like work together to see the patient that they had put in the referral for. And I have to say, that was like the spryest 94-year-old I have ever seen. This patient was 94, and oh my goodness, it was like I wish, I had a kid who was, 24 or 25 that after, having foot surgery was admitted to the hospital and couldn't move as well as this 94-year-old. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, so he was a spry little 94-year-old. Super pleasant to work with. He was adorable. So worked with him, saw him, then I went back downstairs and I'm like, okay, it's like 11:30. I have enough time to like grab something from the ship store from the snack bar area, which is basically they have some like frozen meals, they have some random stuff, like the typical snacks that you get. That type of thing. So I need something quick that I can eat like on the go. So I just grabbed like those little cheese sticks wrapped with prosciutto. I grabbed a set of those and a Starbucks, one of their like cold little Frappuccino type things. So I grabbed that because then I could, stick it in my pocket and go out to the ambulance bay to be ready for my start for the drill. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And look, see, we got all the outlining done. I don't mind this amount of outlining. This was tolerable, but like the Mandy Manzanos have just way too much outlining for me. So anyways, do not jump back up there, Carcass. You do not need to be on here. Get off of it. So yeah, and then we kicked off the drill, and that took a couple hours right there on a Friday afternoon. That was super fun. Yeah, and it's like, I think this is the first time that the hospital has done a drill in a few years, and it's something that now Sushi's standing on top of the pile of stuff next to the easel. She's silly. She's so cute. Are you a cute Susu? Are you a cute baby? You are cuteness, Sushi. Yes, you are, sweet baby. She's so cute with the little feet all like popped right together. Adorable. I have so many random drills on my table, you guys. I just picked up a little passel of them with my finger. If I could get that last drill to come up. Yeah, like, look at that. All right, now let me put them in my little trash jar. There we go. All right, on to this color. So yeah, it was busy, and then we had the drill. That took a few hours managing things, and we had moulaged patients for the drill. So if you don't know what moulage is, it's like the fake wounds, the fake blood, all of that stuff that's put on the patients. So that way it's easier for the people to be like, oh, this is what the wound is, rather than saying, I have this. So that way they could actually Sushi's jiggling the easel again. Sorry about that. So that way, you know, it just makes it a little bit like you're trying to simulate real life as good as you can without actually having injuries. Sushi, get your face out of my blinds. Get out. Don't. Yes, I touched your tail. Don't yell at me. Heard that little mad kitten yell because I stopped her from sticking her face through my blinds. So yeah, that was our drill was on Friday, and that took up quite a bit of time, and then we had to do the after action aspect of it, and then once we finished with that, we still have to write up the actual after action report, but that's going to be a task for next week. I'm not doing it this week. And then as I finished with that, I then had to go back to my office, and I had to try to look up some information for our executive officer. Had asked me for some information and to see if there was like a new version of a certain instruction, or if the instruction that she had was the latest version. And I like spent probably a solid 3 hours scouring all of the databases. And I couldn't find anything newer on this instruction that she wanted, but I did find some things that were kind of addressed it a little bit. No, that's my mochi, not the mochi cat. Those are my actual slices of mochi, waiting for me to finish filming to reward myself with a piece of mochi. So yeah, it was so I was doing that, and that took, you know, I think I finished. Finally, I was like, okay, I gotta call it on that. And I was trying to knock out some of like the tasks that on Friday. I was able to knock out a lot of those little things that had been percolating and I needed to do. I made some good progress on all of them on Friday. So, get your face out of my blinds. Stop it. Don't yell at me with that little squeaky, grumpy meow. So, I did make good progress on those, so I was pleased with that. And then, yeah, and I didn't even have a chance to, like, my mom had texted me and she was like, oh, did you see? Because she thought the sneak peek, like, that they showed of the stained glass Frenchie kit, she was like, did you see that one? It was super cute. And I'm like, I have not had a chance to do anything because I have been running around like crazy all day long and have not had a chance to look at anything. Sushi! No, we do not knock things over. Stop with the little slappy paws. Do I need to evict you? Stop. Stop. No. Don't sass me. Go get in the window. Brat child. She's knocking things over. She knocked it was just a container of wee wax, but it sounded like it was something breakable. And she has broken a few things with her little slappy paws. I had this concrete, like, Buddha head on a little stand that was in my bedroom on this little, like, Japanese altar that I have. And Sushi broke it. She knocked it down and broke it. And I'm like, this thing is concrete. How in the world did she break this? Yes, so she's an expert at breaking stuff. She has knocked paintings off of the wall and artwork off of the walls and shattered the glass because of them hitting the ground. Like, she is the chaos gremlin of all chaos gremlins. Yeah. So, anywho, I had to go check and make sure she didn't break anything. She didn't. Hi, Mo. Mochi's sitting in the chair next to me being all adorable and Mochi. Sweet baby. Now Sushi's staring at me like, how dare you yell at me, Mom? She's literally standing on the far desk, as far away from me as she can get, looking at me like, you yelled at me, Mom. You yelled at me. I'm like, yes, I yelled at you. You were doing what you weren't supposed to do. She knows she's not supposed to knock stuff on the floor. And you would think, it's like she has enough toys and a variety of toys to keep her entertained, but no, she wants me to entertain her the entire time. That's what would make her happy. If I just sat and played with her nonstop, then she would be happy. She's a very needy little cat, which is my own fault for spoiling her so much. So whenever she caused chaos, it's usually because I'm ignoring her and she wants my attention. That's literally what it comes down to. Right now, she's trying to knock my cross-stitch project bags on the floor because they're on the desk. She's trying to drag them onto the floor with her little draggy cat paws. Because she is that cat that's like, what is this? Let's knock it on the floor. Sushi, stop. No, baby. She's such a little rascal. So. I feel like all you're going to get is a video of me talking about, like, yelling at Sushi for doing things. Hey, stop. No. No, that's right. Stop it. No, don't yell at me, baby. Don't yell at me. What, little carcass? What? Don't sass me. You guys want to see the sassy little thing? Look, there's a sassy thing here. Let's give you a face. Here's a face. Here's a face. Look at that sassy thing. That pathetic little meow. She's like, Mom. I'm like, what? You're being a brat child. All right. What? I will hold you. If you would just sit on my lap, I could hold you and diamond paint, and then we'd be good. But no, you don't want to sit on my lap. You want to cause chaos. Here, I'm putting you in my lap. And she's like, I'm going to jump on the floor. I'm like, no, I'll hold you. So let me hold you. No, Susu. You sit right there, baby. Stop. Stop trying to escape. Don't sass me. Here. There. You fit right there. Here's my baby. All right, let's see how long she actually sits there. It's probably going to be like 30 seconds before she gets up and tries to run away. And I know, baby, you can sit there and I can pet you when you're on my lap. Hi, little one. You're adorable. Yes. She's purring at me, but she's also sassing me with her tail, which means that she's still not happy with me because I yelled at her and I'm not paying close enough attention to her little carcass. So, anywho, I can't even remember what I was going to say before this little one started causing chaos. But regardless, so needless to say, it was a busy week. And then like last night, I wanted to make a little bit more progress on my cross stitch along. So I was doing that one because I'm still behind on the flower dragon. I'm still behind on that one. And I think I finally basically finished part 1 yesterday. And part 3 has now been released as well. But I'm like, first goal is to finish part 1. And then I can work on part 2. And then I can work on the part 3. But right now I just have to get through, like I had to get through the part 1 first. So I did finish part 1 last night. And I started into a little bit of part 2. So now I can start the second dragon of that. So yes, that's been going on. I did make progress on that. And then I did finish the section I was on before this section. I finished the earlier section to get to that like halfway mark. And then I was like, okay, I need to take a little bit of a break before I come back and film my WIP and chat. So I was like, I'll just go, it was only like 9:30 or so. I was like, I will go, watch an episode of a show. But I needed to lay down, get a break from sitting in my chair. So I laid down to watch an episode of the show. And I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, well, I could go do something now. But I'm like, I'm still tired. I'm going to bed. So I got up to, like brush my teeth and do all of that. And proceeded to then go back to bed and fell back asleep. So I slept a lot last night. But I needed it after, the busy week that I had. And, with having my Botox injections this week, because that really takes it out of me. I don't know why I'm still using the 8 placer for this section when I could be using the 10 placer and going faster. So I finally was able to, so I slept quite a bit last night into today. It was like, I definitely needed it. But at the same time, it was not planned which is why you're getting this a little bit late. Because I was like, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have to film my WIP and chat. Because I don't want to make you guys wait until Sunday, since I normally do my WIP and chats on Saturdays. So I wanted to try to get it out to you guys today on Saturday and not wait until Sunday to do it. So that's what we're doing. Hence the WIP and chat this morning. Because I normally film late at night. I don't normally film first thing in the morning. So if I sound sleepy and my voice is not still fully awake, it's because I haven't been awake for very long. And I'm filming this upon waking, so that way I can get it up for you guys. But anywho, as far as diamond paintings and purchases, I'm doing good. I'm really proud of myself. I only purchased that one from the Halloween release. I only purchased the Yume, which I unboxed the Yume on and posted that video on Friday. And oh my goodness, it is the cool. Like, I am so in love with that canvas. And I'm like, if I didn't have a rule that I'm supposed to be working on older canvases, I would totally be kitting that one up and working on that one right now. Totally. So I was very proud of myself for holding strong and only buying that one and wish listing the other ones that I wanted, because there were a few others that I really wanted, like the Jeremiah Kettner and some of the other ones. But I was very proud of myself because I held strong and I wish listed and just bought my Yume. And then on top of that, this week I did make a purchase from Oraloa. I can't remember if it was like last week or this week that I did it. I'd have to look back and see. The canvas is supposed to arrive this coming week. But the Oraloa canvas that I purchased is a canvas that, I know, oh, I missed like 5 drills of that color right here. So this canvas that I purchased is one that they had a like sneak peeked or showed it saying it was going to be releasing. Like, I feel like it's been a couple months since then. And then I guess it's by like one of the artists that I have a couple other canvases from Maud Lemoyne. Beautiful, beautiful kit. And it didn't like, and it never, and then I guess there was some kind of like licensing thing where they were going to release the kit, but then the kit was already, the image had already been like, there was like a licensing conflict with it or something like that. So then they didn't release it after they had advertised it for release. And I was super bummed. And I know there was another of my Discord friends was also super bummed about it because she wanted that one too. So then she was on Orloa's website this past like week or two, and they actually had that kit. So it looks like they may have gotten like where they had to, a limited availability for it because they had it listed, but at a significant like discounted price. Mochi, hi baby. You showing off your booty roll? What? You want to get on my lap? Get on here. Come on my lap. You can get down here. I know I love you too. Get on my lap, Mo. Get down. Get your little booties down. Thank you, baby. Oh, you're so sweet. It's getting colder, so now Mochi is like, you must hold me, Mom. I'm cold. I need you to hold me. Oh, she's a sweet baby. She's curling up in my lap, being an adorable Momo. Oh my goodness. You're precious, Mochi. You are precious. She just curled up, and it's so sweet. Hi, Mo. You're in a tiny cat ball on my lap, and I love it, baby. You are the sweetest. I love you, Mochi. You're the sweetest baby. Such a sweet baby. So they had that kit, but they had it for like 50% off, which is a brand new release that they had already been done for 50% off, which to me kind of says, okay, once it sells out, they're not allowed to make any more, like do any restocks of it. So with that in mind, I was like, well, I have to buy it because this is a kit I would regret not buying. So when it comes in, you guys will see it for my end of month video. When I unbox all the kits that I received this month, you guys will see it because it comes in. It's supposed to come in this coming week. So pretty. It's so pretty. So I went ahead and I did buy that one, but I feel like that one was that's a special circumstance because, like I said, I'm worried that when it sells out, they're going to discontinue it and not have it available anymore. So that's my worry with that. So I did purchase that one. But I think other than that, I've been doing really good lately. I have also not... Oh, Sushi's going to lay down in Mochi's box. Maybe. Yeah, she's sitting. She doesn't usually lay in Mochi's box. She usually sits in Mochi's box. But she's sitting in Mochi's box. So... So I did purchase that canvas, but other than that, I've been doing it, like I said, really good. I haven't been purchasing accessories, and I haven't been purchasing diamond paintings like I had been. I've been doing really good on that, but part of that is I have to buy a car, and I'm like, well, I need to make sure, that I can swing, that extra car payment, which... the money is going to basically be a lot of the money that I was spending on diamond paintings and accessories is going to go for my car. Susu, hey, stop that. Don't sass me. Car kiss. Sushi. Mochi's like, I need to go see what she's doing. Mochi doesn't like it when I yell at the kitten. So, yes. So, a lot of my diamond painting money is now going to be moved over to pay for a new car once this government shutdown is done, because my car is having some issues. So yes, so I've been trying to not spend money so I can do that. Hey, Sushi. That's right, I shook the water bottle at you. But yeah, gotta adult and do things, and you know, a car takes priority over extra diamond paintings. Also, I have already bypassed the number of what I never wanted to get past, and I've already destashed everything that I'm willing to destash from my kit, or pulled them into the destash pile, which means that they are not counted. Sushi, stop it. Stop. Don't sass me. So with that in mind, okay, I have got to go evict this cat. You're getting evicted. Out. No, don't yell at me. All right. Okay. Sushi has been evicted for the next, 10 minutes of this video. I feel like yeah, this is a little bit more sushi chaos than we normally have. Just a little bit more. But, some days are like that. Apparently today is one of those days. It's a sushi chaos day. But yes, so I've already reached past the threshold number of where I was like, oh, I'm never going to get more than this many diamond paintings. I've reached that cap, and kind of like now that all of the kits that I've been ordering have started to come in from like the smaller shops where it takes longer for them to ship, like Enabler's Outpost, Jaded Gem Shop, Diamond Artisan Shop. Now that those have all started to come in, I'm like, I think I still have like 6 or 7 diamond paintings left that I'm waiting on arriving from like the made to order side from like Jaded Gem Shop. So once those come in, I'll be able to be like, all right, this is my new number. And right now I'm kind of like working on, I need to work on a stash down, essentially is what I need to do. Get those numbers down and really, really focus and be good about what I'm buying. There is still, like, I am allowed to get one restock, and that's going to be the that's going to be like Kitchen Ducks is the one restock that I am allowing myself to purchase. We're going to do, I was like, what color do I want to work on next? The decisions. I was going to do the AB, but then I'm like, no, I need to still work on the outline. Actually, we're going to, so I still have some outline color in a different color to do. So we're going to work on that one. So anyway, so with that in mind, I'm really, really contemplating doing a stash down and having very, very strict I can buy this guidelines. So like with my, like the things that I can buy, being very, very strict about what kits they are and what artists I can buy from. Like I actually wish listed the Mrs. Butter D canvases, and I am like very impressed with myself for wish listing them. Because one of them in particular I had voted on and I wanted it really bad, but the Boo Cafe, I had voted on that and I wanted it, but I'm like, no, I need to wish list, and I was very proud of myself for doing that. The Yumeis, I've already made that decision that Yumeis are not something that I'm going to wish list. I will buy a Yume. So that's something that I'm not worried about. Like I will not wish list a Yume. Come on, get that drill off of there. So now it's time to change my putty, as you can see, because it's kind of sticking weird. So now I just need to be like, okay, let me peruse and see, like, if there's a Liubka cat, I feel like those have become must-buys. The kitchen, like, if there's an Art by Julia duck, those are must-buys. And a Yume, those are going to be, like, I have to see if there's anybody else, but I think those 3 are going to be the only ones that I am allowed to purchase during, like, my stash down that I'm really contemplating doing. If I do decide to do a stash down, I am going to come up with my rules for it. I need to watch like Tiffany and Natalie's videos and see what, and like everybody else that have been doing them. Because I've watched, like, I know I've watched a lot of videos from Lisette, where Lisette does that, where she did a couple years, like over a course of a few years. I watched all of her videos during it. But I was like, I don't have enough kits and I don't feel like I need to do that. But now I'm at that point where I'm like, I need to work on that and have very strict what I can buy rules. So that way I am making progress and decreasing kits, which it's going to be like, and I need to be strong even as we get ready to roll into Black Friday, and be like, okay, I can only order X. These are the artists' kits that I can order. And I had always said that, Jeremiah Kettner was one of those must-have artists. And I'm like, well, yes, but at the same time, I have to prioritize what I like the best. And I will be wish listing those, and I love his work, and they're so fun to do. If you've never done a Jeremiah Kettner, I find his kits super fun to work on. So yeah, it's a whole process. I have to come out with, okay, this is my criteria, this is what I'm going to be doing, and kind of like get it all figured and solidified and everything for it. All right, you guys, look at it. It's so cute. We're making such good progress on this. I think we will, rather than getting another color out, I may just call it here because I need to go free the chaos. Well, she's in the rest of the house. I'm in here, she's out in the rest of the house. But, you know, it's the same thing. I still need to free the chaos. So we basically outlined everything in this section, which is pretty good progress. Because this is a lot of color blocking, and this will go super, super fast because that's all one color with a little bit right here of another color. This is one color. This is one color. And then, you know, we've got large swaths of color blocking in this section. So this whole section will go very fast. In a perfect world, I will finish this canvas this weekend. Realistically, I'm probably going to get distracted by cross stitching and not finish it this weekend, but that's what it's looking like. I know we're looking at it on the side, but we're starting into her hair, and I like that her hair is not like super powerfully colorful, where you don't have all of like the line blocking for it. So overall, I'm very like, I was really worried because this kit has so many browns to it. I was really worried that I wouldn't like it, but I've actually, surprisingly enough, been enjoying working on it, and I think it's because it has so much color blocking. And you guys know I love my color blocking. So it's got a lot of the color blocking. I've also added a handful of special drills to it. I haven't used any in this section so far, but I added 4 special drills. I added another orange AB, a creamy yellow pixie dust, another yellowy AB, and then a like a creamy yellow AB. That's what I added to this kit. Because I felt like it needed a little bit more than what it had. Because I want to say it came with 2 dust drills and 2 ABs. And I felt like I needed more for the oranges to make the oranges stand out. So let me move my pen so I don't knock it off and break another pen. And before we end, I will show you guys real quickly the like the pot, or like the cauldron. Because that'll show where I've added some stuff to it. I'll put it like that so you guys can see the cauldron. And you can see this entire, all of the yellow and orange right here in the cauldron, all of that is special drills. I think there's the yellow, the creamy dust drill there, and then those are all ABs. All the oranges and yellows are ABs. This eye is AB, here's an AB. I didn't make the plant right there. There's no ABs on that. But I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by how much I've been enjoying this kit, despite how many browns it has in it. That was something I was really worried about when I pulled it out. I was like, am I going to enjoy the browns? Because I felt kind of meh about working on Beauty and Chaos, which is a very similar color palette to this, with those browns into greens. This one has a little bit more oranges, and orange is not a color that I really like. So I was really worried about that, but I've actually been enjoying it quite a bit. It's been really fun to work on, and I've been really pleased with it. So that's actually been a plus. So anywho, that's all I have for today, for today's WIP and Chat. I will go ahead and let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.